Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Stacy. I am down here at the Desert Nature Alliance Museum out in Gold Canyon, Arizona, tucked up next to the Superstition Mountains. I am so excited to be able to tell you guys we are now listed as a resource, a STEM resource in Pinal County. Fantastic. But okay, it's not the only county that we can help you with, so that's why I'm making a video right now. I'll be able to tell you what all we have here. Here at the museum, online, available as the Desert Nature Alliance to be able to help you with further your studies, create studies, whatever you got going on, or you're just simply in love with the desert, you might be traveling, all of those things. So come hang out with me for a minute. I am going to be drinking water the whole time because hydration, you guys, being dehydrated in the desert is something that is really horrible and can hurt you. So always, always, always drink your water. It has been excessively hot out here in the desert. We've been in the triple digits, and so there's no getting around it. You should be drinking your water all the time. So if you are a teacher, if you are a homeschooler, if you are a student, how can the Desert Nature Alliance be a resource for you? We are going to start with that we love the desert and want you to fall in love with it as well. So it is a very welcoming, warm place that you will come into and talk about everything that you see in the desert. If you are not from the desert and you are interested in a lot of the things that we have out here and have no idea where to start, maybe you just moved here from somewhere else, we can definitely help you. We always say that we will meet you where you're at. So if you are someone who knows a lot about the desert and would just like to have a few of the things that we have here at the museum to incorporate in some of your lessons, that's fantastic. If you are someone who is brand new to a lot of this, is learning to identify, is working towards different aspects of your education, like I said, we can meet you wherever you are at. So inside our facility here, inside the museum, is where we keep and house all of the skeletons, the bones, the artifacts, anything that we have found out in the desert, we keep in here. Not all of it is safe enough, sturdy enough to travel. Some we only have one of. Some of the bones are so incredibly fragile, they would never make it traveling somewhere. So some of the things that we have, yes, you would actually have to come to the museum to see in person, to visit. Now, I often video, like I said, for my friends that'll never be able to come on out here, we do video them and we put them on the YouTube channel. Now, I want to talk to you a minute about the YouTube channel. I'm sure some of you are like, but we're going to talk about education. That is one of your great resources out there. YouTube really has a lot of valuable educational resources out there. Don't be afraid to use YouTube. Our channel has over 600 videos of it, of anything from javelinas, all of the animals. We do a lot of them in short, so they're very easy for you to use and to clip together for your classes or for your studies. But as you can see right now, there are still commercials on our channel. We are not in that famous range for channels just yet. So no, there are still commercials, so you're gonna have to still skip. If you'd like to help us on getting our channel to grow, you're gonna hit the like and subscribe button. Now, why would we even have a YouTube channel? Well, it's also 2023, and it takes a lot of technology in order to have a YouTube channel. I've been doing this for years now to create 600 original videos and have them uploaded and to be seen across the world. It takes a lot of technology. It takes the video equipment that we're using, whether it's your phone or you're actually using a camera, you're going to need to download it into YouTube. And there's things that happen through there. It's understanding what an algorithm is and how things are going to be, videos are going to be sent to other people, and why or why not you'd be able to even have a career on YouTube. There is a lot that goes into creating a channel. Why we decided to do it, it was one of the easiest ways for you guys to be able to just punch in very easy, Roadrunner, whatever you needed, and move them around. So it's a fantastic database that we were able to reach as many people as possible. Some of the videos that we have in there are actual educational videos that I have put together, but for the most part, it is the animals that you're going to see. The night videos, we have night cameras in multiple spots. We're able, on our property, don't think we're putting them out everywhere, you guys. No. We have our own 3 acres We live closer to the mountain, and so we have put out multiple cameras on the property, and we are able to monitor and watch and have seen some amazing, and we put them online. Like I said, again, it's the easiest way to share. Now, of course, we put things on Facebook, and we put things on Instagram, and so you have to be in the social realm at this point when you're talking about education and information and how you're going to share some of that, or how you're going to encourage someone younger to be a part of STEM education. You said, that's a big leap, Stacy. We're going STEM education to YouTube to wild animals. That's what we're talking about when you talk about the DNA, about really connecting a lot of things together. So you're going to learn a lot all at the same time. How certain things are valuable, or why you would need math. Well, I need to understand math to understand the metrics, to understand if they're ever going to pay me on YouTube for all the work that I've put in there. It does go together. So oftentimes when you find out why a certain thing that you needed to learn was valuable, it might be too late. So you really got to start filling up that toolbox. When people talk about, what tools do you have in your toolbox? What have you learned? Well, the DNA is here to help you fill up your toolbox for sure. And again, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a student, just a person interested, I guarantee you come in here and we are going to give you something, whether it is a spark, something you haven't learned, some kind of different connection, or just a different way of looking at something. So one of the examples I'm going to give you right now is your toolbox. Now, I don't have a toolbox in here. I actually like to use my little lunchbox because I like the artistic side of it. I also like to say that we are STEAM support. We are not just STEM support. Don't take the art out of it. Art is what allows all of us to do some amazing with our science, with our technology, with our math, with our engineering. So keep your art inside there. So for my toolbox and for my example and here, for my students out there especially, why do I need a toolbox? Well, if I was going to go work on a car, I can't just do it with my hands. I actually would need tools, but I would also need to know how to use those tools in order to go up to that car and to be able to work on it and make it where it would drive again, right? That makes sense. Well, not all of the tools that you have are actual something that's a tool. Not everything is like a screwdriver or a hammer. Some of the tools that you have and you develop as you go through life and you are learning and working and all those things, some of those tools are things you just know, things that you have just done. And it starts adding up into your collective toolbox, right? So some of the tools that I have are in there, I could add and I could subtract and I could multiply, and my math continued on. And those weren't really things that I could put in my toolbox, but they're up in this toolbox for sure. And they came in handy in all kinds of different ways with that thought process. How did Stacy get to this point? How did I get here? It's a great question because I want to be able to look at some of you out there and go, you can do anything that you really have inside of you and you're excited about. And I want to inspire you that way. When I was growing up, and I was growing up in the desert, no one ever told me I could work for the zoo. It was just something that seemed like that people from another alien planet were able to do. It wasn't until I was in my 40s that I applied to the Phoenix Zoo and was hired at the Phoenix Zoo. It was the tools that I came to them from my toolbox, from my life, from 40 years as a person, that enabled me to get an amazing job at the Phoenix Zoo. Were the tools in my toolbox from working around animals? Not at all. I was a hairstylist for 24 years. One of the things that I did as a hairstylist was talk to people. And they were all kinds of different ages, and they came from different kind of backgrounds and all those kind of things. And it made me just very comfortable being able to talk to people for years and years and years, talk about all kinds of stuff. When I got to the zoo, they said, we need people that can talk to people. We need people that can go and share the love and the excitement of the animals. But they got to be able to talk to everybody. And they've got to be able to talk where it's comfortable, where they're not like, I'm going to tell you all about something, or I'm mean or rude to someone, just where I could go talk to people. So I was amazed. I got a job at the Phoenix Zoo. But that also required me now, my toolbox was empty. My toolbox of animals, empty. I knew a few things. I knew a couple things. I didn't know enough to be there. I didn't know enough to stand around. I could talk for sure, and I was very comfortable saying hello. But my toolbox did not equip me with tons and tons of animal knowledge at a zoo that had 1,200 animals at it. How was I supposed to go walk around? How was I supposed to do this? Well, some of you are already answering that question. I was going to study, right? If I wanted to stay there, if I wanted to continue working for the zoo, and I wanted to be able to walk around and talk about the animals that were near me, I was going to have to study. That was the deal. Yeah, you can come work here, but your toolbox is empty. What are you gonna do about that? Wow, that was a lot. That was how? Oh my gosh. Well, I started off slow, started off in the places that the animals that I was working around, and I listened to other people. I listened to people that had been around them. I listened to the people that were taking care of them. And I learned, I took notes. I saw that there were people that could drive the train all the way around the zoo, and they got to talk about the animals all the way around the zoo. But that meant you had to know all about the animals. No one was going to hand you a script, and even if they did, you would have had to memorize that. You'd still have to be able to talk for 20 minutes all the way around the zoo. Microphones, let everybody hear the things that you were saying. Did you have enough in your toolbox to be able to go and talk about giraffes and go and talk about elephants and go and talk all the way around and still be able to drive and still be able to do it safely? And all the things was your toolbox. Could you do it? I learned at the Phoenix Zoo that my toolbox was strong and it was capable of holding a lot, but I had a lot of space. I had a lot of space that I could fill, I could learn, I could grow, and then I could share. And that was one of the main things that they taught us is not just getting your information, not just learning something. Now, what are you going to do with your information next? How are you going to share that with everybody else? And that's a tall order. So I learned as much as I could, and I worked, and 4 years later, I graduated, if you will, from the Phoenix Zoo. When I moved out here to Gold Canyon and saw all the animals and how amazing it was, and maybe they hadn't gotten highlighted as much as, say, the animals that we were working with at the zoo, I was inspired. I had to do something. What am I going to do? I'm finding these cool things. We're seeing these cool things. There was so much education out here. I didn't even know what to do with myself. I told my friends, and they said, well, come up with something. And that something became a nonprofit. I wasn't a school, not a teacher. I just knew I needed to get everyone to fall in love with what I was seeing and experience it along with me. So started a channel. Here we go. Coyotes running down the driveway. You got to see this with me. You got to be part of it. Just because you live in the desert doesn't mean that you get to experience some of this stuff. I can go just 10 minutes down the road, and those guys aren't seeing the same animals. They're not experiencing the same wildlife. They're not seeing the same things. It is foreign, especially the more and more plazas and stuff that you build, the less and less wildlife that you're going to have out there. Became completely inspired, completely enthralled, in love. But there was a lot of animals, and even though I had the background, you guys, even though my toolbox at that time from the zoo I thought was just full. I thought, oh my gosh, I've left the zoo. I know so much. I could drive around the zoo 20 minutes and tell you all about everything in it. And I got out here, the toolbox was empty again. When I worked for the Phoenix Zoo, and everybody will tell you this too, Phoenix Zoo has their areas all split up, and so you can go to the African Trail and you can go to these different trails. And they had the Arizona Trail. And I never went to the Arizona Trail. Why didn't I ever go to the Arizona Trail? Well, because I didn't know much about those animals. Well, when I left the Phoenix Zoo, I pretty much moved myself into the Arizona Trail. I am out here now with javelina, coyote, bobcat, you name it, it is out here and it is fantastic. So I had to learn all over again. My toolbox was empty. I hadn't paid that kind of attention. I had paid attention to the giraffes. I paid attention to the fun stuff. You hear what I'm saying? I paid attention to the fun stuff. I didn't pay attention to everything. Just stuff that was fun, stuff that I was interested in. Found out that's what gave me the holes in my toolbox, is because I have to pay attention to everything put in front of me. I couldn't just pay attention to certain things. Couldn't just only do this part of the science and not take the math that was going along with it, or I would never understand all of it. So it's about filling your toolbox. It's about having other ways, other places to go, and other experiences to have. When you come to the Museum for the Desert Nature Alliance, you get to come by yourself. That's what makes us unique. We ask that you set up a specific time, look at our schedule, see what's available. Our space is small. We're about 600 square feet grand total. And you get to experience things by yourself. You get to build your toolbox in a way other places don't allow you to. One of the examples that we use when we do go and do presentations, and that is rare, I don't like to go. I'll let you know why later. You get to take a look, you get to hold things, touch things. Why is it? What do you think you're staring at? Can you identify it? Can we get that little spark in you? Can we get a conversation going about something else when we start talking about anatomy? It's amazing the experiences that we have when we come in here. Like, so we can't have a lot of people. Number one, it's only 600 square feet, and it is not designed for the general population. It is not open 7 days a week. It is not where you just come on in. There are just too many things that we have inside here that are fragile, things that I'm working on. I have skeletons from canyon bats and Mexican free-tail bats. I have some of the tiniest little fragile skeletons in here, hummingbirds, all the way up to coyote and javelina. We have all kinds of different things in here. So this is not a place where you're gonna run around. The larger the groups that you have, when you have larger class sizes, that lends to more kids not paying attention or people talking and doing other things. In our here, maybe 10, top 6 people, we do not have that kind of space, and we don't really encourage it. We want you to really get to absorb and have that time. You're not going to come to the Desert Nature Alliance Museum all the time. You're going to come as you need it, as it calls you, the things that you're interested in, as our exhibits change. You'll be using it in different ways, whether you're using our videos and you're doing the birds and doing the bird watching, or like, so we're doing bats right now, or you're looking at carnivore, or the other room that we've put together that has the scorpions in it and the nocturnal and the glowing. Tons and tons of education in here that I can't simply put on one video for you. You're gonna really have to come in and experience. So I'm really gonna encourage our teachers out there that are watching this, please contact us. Let's find the time to get you to come out. We can make videos, help you make videos for your classes, help you come up with different ideas and topics, or maybe just simply being in a different environment with different educational materials is gonna spark something with you. So right now I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna move us around just a bit. And as I talk about our educational materials, let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I'll be able to do this and move it. See, can we go? Can we go? There we go. No. This is gonna be fun. All right, so we'll move this around just a little bit. When we talk about our educational materials, we have partnered up with Purdue, and I want to say it loosely partnered. Now, those of you that create curriculum, it doesn't matter if you create it if no one is actually using it. And so we definitely reached out and said we would like to have some of the curriculum that you are creating, and we would like to incorporate it. It has been amazing. This talks about just the benefits of connecting with nature. And so like I said, if you are homeschooling, or if you're just interested, or if you have someone in your life that maybe you think emotionally would do better connecting with nature, this is some great studies that, like I said, that's some of the resources that we have for you. Behind me, we have Bandit. Bandit is our Sonoran gopher snake, and she is our ambassador for snakes. As you know, out here, we are the home of Western Diamondbacks, and so it gives us a great opportunity to talk about the differences of why this is not a rattlesnake. So as you come in further inside the museum, this is the area that we call the collection. We ask you to definitely use your respect when you come in here. Each one of these represents an animal. And so the parts that we have remaining, let me come show you. First on, for teachers, for educators, we will allow you to hold for your videos and that kind of stuff. But no, the general population is not allowed to be touching any of it. We do have the license for the birds. So if you do see birds behind me, birds are protected. So that's a whole other conversation we can have with everybody. There's the Migratory Bird Act. No touching the birds. You have to have a special license, and we have 2 for that. You have 1 for state and 1 for federal. So there is a lot that goes along when you're talking about animals. So something simple like that. You have to have permits. You can't just go out and touch things. You can't go out and just pick up feathers. We have things, and there's people that you can contact, and yeah, there's a whole chain of command. When you come in here, you're going to see mostly the work that I do. I consider myself now like field science. I do anatomy. I do articulation. Articulation means how something moves. So I put things back together. Let's see if we can get in here, and in the glass case that's behind us here, it's got some fascinating things in it as well. Okay, so you have all kinds of things to come to the museum, to come check out, come up close to, talk to your students about anything from teeth, why something is an omnivore, carnivore, all those kind of things. But you can definitely turn a lot of the lessons that we have into something that has, it's all the way across. What am I trying to say to you guys? Well, I don't know. I did one about bats. So we have a whole lesson plan here about bats. Why is a bat not a bird? How did that work out? How did that happen? And the conversations, because mostly really what science is asking questions. I have questions about something. How does this work? And testing it out. You have to have the education, the English, or I shouldn't say English, excuse me, the language so you can read, and then the math skill. So whatever language that it is in for you, you need to be able to read instructions or be able to communicate that way. And then also use your math skills when we're talking about the amounts and that kind of stuff. So you guys, everybody that ever asked me, why do I need math? You need math all over the place. You need your languages all over the place. You need to do multiple languages, and you need to be able to read. Okay, so I'm going to take you now into our dark area. Ready? Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to turn this around. Now, when you come in here, you're looking for scorpions, you're looking for tarantulas. You get to talk about nocturnal, how tarantulas shed, great horned owl up there. There's all kinds of amazing things in here. So you have a whole other experience, whole other sensory experience when you come in here. We have flashlights available. So you get your flashlight out. Where's it? Can we find the scorpion? Can we find this? Oh, there we go. Can we find the scorpion? Who's in the cases? There's a giant one in here. So just another experience to come in. If you can't find them, then we use your regular flashlight. Oh, wait. I think I see a tarantula over there. Can we find the tarantula? Can we find the tarantula? So all kinds of things to learn about, to see, to experience. The Desert Nature Alliance Museum. Look at your schedule. Come on down. See what you want to do. See what's inspiring to you, how we can help you. We're here. We're available. We have a website, online. You have Instagram, Facebook. Let us be a resource for you. Thank you for spending the time with me. If you have any questions, please put them below, and we'll be talking to you soon.